दिस इज द मेजर प्रॉब्लम इन इंडिया, राइट? ऐसा कोई भी टैलेंट का पाइपलाइन नहीं है. there's no such dedicated
करेक्ट।
place जहां से young player निकल के आ रहे हैं.
राइट।
Sometimes we have seen academy programs which work a lot. Like for Gen Z, it works. They had a Gen Z academy. वहां से उनने एक दो players उठाए.
DRX
And
Thank you for segueing me into the next part.
yes,
वही मैं
let's get into the academy part.
that is what we are going to do in the next year with the VCL ऐसे टीम. नेक्स्ट ईयर तो करेंगे, बट ऑलरेडी यूनिवर्स के साथ काम स्टार्ट हो चुका है. उसमें वी हैव ऑलरेडी स्टार्टेड स्काउटिंग प्लेयर्स जो एकदम यंग है.
So उसके बारे में I would like to say a little bit. When I said earlier everything I said about the Indian players, I will say a few other things. Someone asked me in chat, if you don't have any Indian player, then why should Indians support you? So I said you shouldn't. You should support. All Indians should support whatever VCT team they are attached to or whatever VCT team they feel close to. If you want to support us for being Indian, then don't do it because of our roster. Support it because the org owners, the management, the content team, the studio, everyone else behind it is Indian. We are paying tax in India. We're probably the highest tax paying esports org in the country. Everything we're doing is in India. Our contribution to esports has been in India. If those 5 players that we also want those 5 players to get there, if they aren't qualified yet, it's not our fault. We're not complaining about it. We are building an academy program to figure it out. We didn't know the solution. हमारे पास भी उसका कोई solution नहीं था. हमने भी सोचा एक एक दो दो इंडियन प्लेयर्स को बिठा देंगे, शायद वो लेवल अप हो जाएगा. We couldn't do it. So now we are trying something else. It's going to be a different approach. It's going to be an all academy roster, an all Indian academy roster, playing in challengers in India. That we are going to, everything we've learned from VCT, everything we have learned from all the orgs, we can now implement an academy program to help level up the entire Indian ecosystem. Our goal in the next 2 years, 2025, 2026, is to level up Indian players and the Indian ecosystem to generate the next level of talent for VCT from India, regardless of whether they play in G's team or no. मैं तो चाहता हूँ कि Sentinels, Fnatic, DRX सारे यहाँ आए scouting के लिए. We want to set up a scouting program here that all other teams travel to India to pick up players. Everyone talks about Turkish players. Everyone talks about Korean players. Everyone talks about American players. Why don't people talk about Indian players? That's what we want to set up. It shouldn't be the responsibility of G as an org to have players in our roster. It should be the responsibility of all of us collectively as a community to grow homegrown talent and level them up to the point that everyone is coming to India to scout talent. That is what we want to build. That's the goal for 2025 and 2026 through our Challenger and Academy program with GE.
There was a list of all these players from EMEA under 16 who are already good enough. These guys are 15. There's not even 16. They're all just 15, 14-year-olds. Wow. There was a list of different countries. And then I saw Turkey.
Yeah.
There was like 25 to 30, just 15-year-olds who apparently are already good enough to be playing in the VCT. And I look at it, I'm like, even if one player was Indian, I could see the Indian flag there, it would be
it would break the internet. Twitter पे सब लोग बोल रहे थे ये player को ले लो. Everyone would be tagging us and saying ये player को ले लो. And हम ले भी लेते. क्यों नहीं? Why wouldn't we? We need players like that. हमें भी चाहिए. Like I said, for us it would be so easy if we had 5 Indian star players that would help us win at VCT. Because what could be a better thing for global esports? हमारे लिए तो that's win for us.
I think this one thing that the audience perspective is they want to win also, but they also want to see Indians win also.
But I think they can't happen at the same time.
मैं एक perspective बोलूँगा.
But there's a bridge to get there. हाँ, Vatsal,
मेरा perspective है bro, देख. We are in here to win. हमने तो अनाउंस करा हर जगह कि भाई हम ट्रायल्स करने वाले हैं, ठीक है. हमने क्राइटेरिया डाला कि भाई लास्ट 2 सीजन एक्ट में आप रेडियंट होने चाहिए. उस क्राइटेरिया को लेके मेरे पास फ्रॉम एंटायर एसए रीजन आई हैव 12 एंट्रीज. 12 प्लेयर्स में से भी ना सिर्फ 7 से 8 लोग वर इन tier 1 orgs.
That is Indian tier 1 orgs.
Indian tier 1
South
orgs.
Asia. This was ऐसे. Only ऐसे.
अगर मेरे पास लास्ट 2 एक्ट में जिसका क्राइटेरिया रेडियंट है, 12 प्लेयर की एंट्री है मेरे फॉर्म में, कैसे 5 इंडियन निकाल सकता हूं मैं उस 12 लोग में से, जिसमें से 2 लोग आए भी नहीं क्योंकि उन्हें दूसरा इवेंट खेलना था. अभी जैसे Techno आया, he played really good. Deathmaker played really good.
Yeah.
Deathmaker, हम तो बहुत पहले से डेथमेकर को जानते, सन्नी को सीएस गो के डेज से,
And मैं तो इतना भी I know you're moving on to another name, but I would like to say one thing about Deathmaker. I was so impressed with his gameplay.
Right.
I was actually like, bro, ये बंदा खेल सकता है VCT में. Until I saw every other player that tried out after him at that role, and I'm like, bro,
अलग लेवल है.
how is there such a big difference? And that's it. I was like, ठीक है bro, ठीक है. जो coaches बोल रहे हैं, जो बाकी सब बोल रहे हैं, सही है. What do I know? हाँ,
इतने
and
सारे
फर्क 19-20 में नहीं है. We also discussed
100-200 का
this.
फर्क है यार.
Guys, अगर 19-20 फर्क है, let's go for the Indian player. उनको सिखा देंगे. फर्क, like if the Indian player was at 5-6, the competition was like at 19-20. Like उतना बड़ा gap था. So that is too big a gap for us to fill. Those kind of gaps can be filled at challenges and ascension. We can't be filling those
Not at
gaps at
VCT.
VCT. Not on stage. Not when हमारे पास 10-12 matches साल के हैं.
You know, I think recently even Talon had re-announced their academy as well, right? Talon. वहाँ पे I don't think they had a criteria of. I'm not sure if they had or not a criteria of Radiant, but like, you know, I reposted that on Twitter. It like, you know, which I got around 10,000-15,000 views or something, and I just told, you know what, guys, if you're not able to do it in India, if you're not finding a team in India, just go, just at least audition to do, कुछ तो करो.
Tryouts से तो
And
पता
then-
चलेगा how far apart you are.
Exactly. I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter. Just go try. Will you get in? Great. You won't get in. At least you know, like, you know, what's the thing.
Yeah.
And then after that, after a month after that happened, I asked people who I knew would be, you know, good enough to probably try in that. I found out that not a single Indian even tried to get into that academy.
उनको पता है, they know they're so far apart, try नहीं करते. तो ट्राई करना भी चाहिए, नहीं करते. एंड फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू ऑल दैट आर हियर, अगर लाइक नहीं किया है, सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है, नाउ इज अ ग्रेट टाइम. इट्स फ्री. आपको बिल्कुल भी 1 सेकंड से ज्यादा नहीं लगेगा. आई अप्रिशिएट इट. थैंक यू वेरी मच.